Hello friends, welcome to Saturday Learning Unlock Possibilities. Today we will learn on software implementation strategy and process. So in today's lesson we are not going to learn what is the waterfall methodology and what is the agile methodology. So we are going to see how we are implementing the software or a product. For example, like insurance company created a product, they want to create the implemented product to multiple clients and do the configuration and customization. This is one of the example. Or like creating the PaaS application or SaaS application, they want to implement to the different customers. So that kind of implementation strategy we are going to learn today. Implementing software is a daunting task and it's super important, but people and business do it every day. A product software implementation method is a blueprint to get users and or organizations running with a specific software product. The method is a set of rules and views to cope with the most common issues that occur when implementing a software product. So we have created a software product, but we will be facing lot of issues when we are implementing the software in different customer location. So based on their requirement on the product, or like how they are seeing the product and how we are customizing the product for the user. The business alignment from the organizational view and acceptance from the human view. The implementation of product software is the final link in the deployment chain of software production. Is in a financial perspective a major issue. It is stated that the implementation of product or a software consumes to 1/3 of the budget of a software purchase, more than hardware and software requirements together. So like we need hardware and software, and top of that, like we will implement the product. If you are spending $3 million and the implementation will take $1 million. So what are the implementation strategy tips? So the first one is keep vendors accountable with a detailed needs document. So the vendor is the perspective from the sponsor actually. So sponsor want to have a product. Yes, we are a vendor, we may be working in one organization where we have created e-commerce product software or insurance software product or any other product. So we are the vendors. So as a vendors, we should be accountable and we should have a detailed document on implementation strategy as per the client vision. Control your scope or it will control you. So when we have a product we are going to implement in customer location, we should understand the scope of the product client vision. So we need to control that actually. So otherwise it will control you. So the next one is assign realistic teams to drive software implementation plan. So we have a software implementation plan which we are implementing across the globe, and we should have a proper team to deliver the implementation. Generate user adaptation with a proactive and engaging strategy. So the users should be adapted from the old system to the new system. That is very important actually. So that will be the success of the implementation strategy. Like it may be like we need to have a proper training session to the end users. Otherwise, like we need to involve them in the UAT, user acceptance testing. Focus on continuous improvement. So to sustain our product in our market, so we need to have a continuous improvement on the product and satisfy the sponsor. So the next one is we will see like what is the software implementation process. So we have a software and we are going to implement the software, and so what are the process inside that. So we have the end user training and implementation plan. So the end user training will not have a like specific area or a specific time will provide the training actually. So we need to understand end user requirement and all, and we need to create a end user training plan, and we need to provide the training. So that we will go through in detail in coming slides, and we should create a implementation plan. So the implementation plan is nothing but like so all other 8 important process which I have mentioned in the slide. So the first one is vendor selection. So the sponsor vision and strategy and roadmap, based on that they will select the product software company, and they will provide the project to the vendor. And once the project is committed, and we will start the project kickoff meeting, and we will do the process redefinement. The next fourth step is we will create a first software build out. Then we will make the software configuration. The software configuration is nothing but understanding the business requirement and making the changes. The next one is UAT, user acceptance test. So the seventh one is cutover. So cutover is shutting down the existing system and make sure that like client is ready to take up the new software. And the last process is go live and continuous support on our software. So this is the software implementation process strategy or a plan. So vendor selection, like we will go through in depth of each process in these coming slides. With the business justification made and management agreeing to commence with the project, it's time to select the software vendor. So like here there are multiple companies, they will bid the sponsor actually. So assume that like we are also one of that. We are also bidding for one software product implementation. So let's see like what are the process involved in that. The first one is evaluate the team, business assessment, software criteria, schedule consultation, vendor presentations, organization analysis and QA, get specific references. So what they will do is like first they will do the evaluation team. So from the organization or the sponsor perspective, they will create the team, and they will do the team will do the evaluation of their vision and strategies, and they will create the roadmap, and they will do the business assessment. So what kind of software they need. Then they will come up with like software criteria. So what are the steps need to fulfill their requirement, what are the expectation from the software. Schedule consultation. So like they will send the like invite to all the vendors. Then vendors will provide the presentation of their software to the sponsor, and they will do the organization analysis. So what are the organizations having a like top 10 product software in this world, and they will arrange the Q&A section, and so this will have like how the vendor can provide the software within the time frame, or how they will do the customization, how much customization is required as per the client business requirement. The next one is get specific references. This is nothing but like create a reference repository for the entire implementation. So assume that like we are the vendor got selected from the customer, and we are going to start our software implementation at client location. And let's see like how to start the project kickoff. So with the vendor selected, it's a time to get the project started with a good kickoff. The first part of kickoff the project is to assemble the team. So like we need to create the team actually, so within our organization. This will take some time and is a crucial step in the implementation process. So we should have the good expertise people for the implementation. So the first is assemble the team. So we have the governance structure. So here we are creating the structure of the entire team, and creating the entire process, tools, definitions, everything, entire structure we are making. So as a like project implementation, already we will be having the governance structure within the organization. So like we need to take that and we need to make the changes as per the current project. So executive sponsor. So from the client there will be a sponsor or a product owner will be assigned for specific to this project, to whom we will get entire requirement, so all the discussion, and who will be working for the success of the project from the client side. And PMO. So the PMO team will involve in defining the process, quality standards, acceptance criteria, so the creating the checklist, creating the standards. So entire process will be taken by the PMO team. And project manager will be assigned to this project, so who will run the entire implementation. Next one, assigning the functional leads. So who will work with the sponsor and collect the requirement and convert into scope, and make sure that the end delivery of the product software will have the requirements requested by the sponsor. The next one, technical lead, assigning the technical lead for this project. Then change management. Change management is very important process, because we are not creating a new software product for this customer actually. We are making the changes to fulfill the client's requirement in the project. So then also announcing our organization that the project is kick-started. Process redefinement. With the project kicked off, it's time for the project team to get to work. Send out the functional leads to meet with the business process expert. The business process experts from the client perspective, and start identifying all business processes to be included in the software. When the processes have been identified and scrubbed and re-engineered, it's time to document. So like we will have a product software document, and we need to create another document. So what are the changes and customization expected from the client to have the final product? So we need to identify the process and analyze, improve and document. So this is the process redefinement in the product software which we are going to implement in the customer place. Software build out. After redefining the business process, it's a time for the first software build out. So we are going to already we have the software which we implemented in hundreds of different customer location. So we are taking the software product which we have it in our organization, and we are creating the first software build for the particular project actually. So this is where the functional leads transfer the business requirements to the technical team, and the technical team begins the work of programming and configuring the meet the business needs. So here we are making the changes and in the product software as per the requirement, and we are creating the first software build out. So the next one is conference room pilot, CRP. They call it as CRP in software implementation and software configuration. So with the first build out of the software completed, it's time to validate if the team is on track with its configuration of the software. So we are making the changes, configuration changes in the software as per the client requirement. So this will be going in iteration. So here like I have mentioned the iteration is n, but it's not infinity. So as per the project which we kickstarted, so we will have the definite iteration numbers actually. It may be a 3 or 5, it may be a 10. So it will be going in loop till we complete the entire requirement of the client. So for the CRP, we will get all the subject matter of expertise together along with other business process experts and super users. So here our functional analyst, the technical architect will work along with SME and business process experts and super users, and they will go through each business process and how we can transform that into the existing software. So how we can adapt the business requirement in the existing software based on the issues discovered during the CRP1, that is the iteration 1. Make a list of the top 10 to 15 critical items to be fixed before the next CRP session. So after the every iteration is over, so we will have the CRP session and we will provide the demo to the sponsor and get the approval from them or a sign off from them for each iteration. Have the technical team make of all the necessary fixes and bug fixes. So as per the demo or review, so the technical team will get the list of fixes and they need to fix it before the next iteration completion actually. So this iteration continues as per the plan. So as mentioned, like it may be a 5 iteration or 10 iteration. So this is very important. So the next one is UAT. So like we have completed all the changes as per the requirement in the software, and now it's ready for the user acceptance testing. So it's a time to demonstrate the software is ready for the users. Conduct a through end-to-end testing of software with every business process from every function of the company. After the system has been tested by the users, you may formally or informally have them sign off on system readiness. So we need to get the sign off from the sponsor on the system readiness, so that like we can go for the next phase, that is the cutover and user training and go live actually. However, should there be any issues uncovered during the UAT, complete one final round of software configuration before go live. So in the previous slide, we have seen that like we are planning to run iteration n. So like we will run another iteration n plus 1 to make sure like we are completing the all software configuration before go live. So the critical point is we are making the client or customer to change from existing system to the new system. So because already they are running existing system and the client users are using that, so there should not be any latency or like issue when we are going on the go live actually. So like the system is not available, or like when we are facing the issues and the go live is extending beyond the scheduled time, so the client will face the transaction issues and they will face the financial losses. So we need to get the user sign off and the final software configuration. So here like we will have the ETL, extract, transform and load jobs. So we will take the data from the existing system and we will make the UAT the database ready. So from that we will run our the new software, so that like we can see like how the new system able to do the transaction between the existing data and the new data actually. So the seventh step is cutover. It's a time to begin the process of transitioning from one system to a new one. So like it may be a legacy system which they are using for a decade, so they want to move to the new system. The organization needs to plan, prepare and execute the cutover. So this is the very crucial step for the implementation process actually. By creating a cutover plan, describe all cutover tasks to be completed before go live. This plan is designed to minimize the ongoing risk of moving from one system to another system. So as a project manager, we need to concentrate more on cutover. So the cutover activities will not start from this seventh process, but it will start before that. So what are the ETL jobs we need to create? So how to extract the data and put it in UAT? So how to make sure that the new software supports the existing transactions. So everything need to be created in a cutover plan actually. Set data for last transaction. Data conversations. Final closing old system. So like we need to set a last date and last minute and last second for the last transaction and stop the existing system, and we need to convert the data from old system to a new system, and and make sure entire data conversion is successful, and we will call final close for the old system, and open new modules, new system. So before go live, all the modules will be up and running in the new system. Service desk readiness. So we need to create a service desk for supporting the go live actually. Command center setup. So create a command center setup. So where we have a project manager, technical support team, function support team, and some team member from the old system, and like the users from the new system. So we need to have create a command center. So when we create a issue during a cutover, or what are the issues will be predicted based on our implementation experience in the new system. So this command center team will help to resolve the issues and bugs quickly actually. And user support plan, and create a plan for supporting the user to migrate to the new system. And contingency plan. So like suppose when we are not able to implement the new go live, and how to recover from the new system to the old system, and start running the old system, and again solve the issues and come up with new go live actually. So we should have a contingency plan. So the go live. So go live, when we talk about a go live, it may be a like incremental go live, or phase by phase go live, or like one time go live actually. So there are 3 different categories in the go live. So the go live is the big day we are here, and it's a time to turn on the new system and allow user to transact. So deploy project resources, on-site user support, transact in new system, post go live support. So these are the activities we are performing in the go live actually. So like when we are completing the existing cutover phase, the entire barely like entire new system is created in a new environment, and when we are doing a go live, just we are switching over from old system to a new system actually. So we are not making a new deployment here. So during the cutover phase itself, end-to-end deployment of existing will be done. So here only we are switching on and off the new system. Now we will see like end user training. So end user training and is like creating a develop training plan. So understand who are the like end users, and so what are their skills and sets. So how we can provide the training to them. It may be like person to person training, or it may be like online training, or it may be like arranging the WebEx training. So we need to see like how better we can provide training to the end user, and develop training material, so that like in the future when new users comes into using this software, so it will be useful for them. The next one is conduct training, like conduct the training to the end user. Supporting and supervision, and supervision the training progress, and assessment, and make continuous improvement in the training plan, and update the training plan. So training of the end users is the one of the most important steps for a successful system implementation. So because the user happiness about using the new system and adapting from the mindset from existing system to the new system is very important. The end user should be utilized during parallel testing. So might be the UAT. So training will need to be rolled out prior to that. So that's why I'm keeping the end user training slide in the end. So we need to start the training before cutover or go live actually, or like before UAT itself. So there will be two set of end user training. So we will select only few end users based on the volume of users. So we will train them and we will use them for testing our software. So getting the end users involved in this point is also a good way to get them excited about the new system, as many of them may not have been involved with the project prior to training actually. So because they are not aware of the new system will be replaced by with existing system actually. Their assistant in parallel testing will help them prepare for when the system goes live. So before it goes live, so involving the end users will help them to get prepared mentally and face the challenges when we are going on live actually. So thanks for watching the video, and please subscribe my channel, and please share with your friends and provide your comments. So I will come up with new exciting topic in